مرحبا يا حلوين وأحلى وسهلا في حل الفيديوهات الحلوة. أنا خنيرة، أنا أستاذتكم، واليوم بدنا نتعلم our first letters بالعربي. If you're ready, let's go. يلا. اليوم راح نتعلم ال long vowels بالعربي. They're called long vowels because their pronunciation is long. We're going to be learning al alif, which is pronounced as a long a, the wow, which is pronounced as an u, and the ya, which is pronounced as an e. Now, these are our vowels بالعربي. And you may be thinking, what happened to the o? What happened to the e? Like the English e. Well, originally Arabic only has these three vowels. Now, because Arabic is a language that expands and changes through time and through regions, many accents have adapted these long vowels to also include the sounds that the other, the core vowels of Arabic lack. So the alif, that is pronounced as an a, may also be pronounced as an e in certain regions. The wow, that is pronounced as an u, may be transcribed as a w if it's written especially at the beginning of the word so that it doesn't look weird, and it may also be pronounced as an o in certain regions. And the ya, which is written like an e, a double e, that may also be transcribed as a y, especially when it's at the beginning of the word so it doesn't look weird, may also be pronounced as an e. So in certain regions, Arabs may be pronouncing the a and the e the same way as an e. This is going to create some confusion at the beginning, but I promise it's not going to be a long confusion. At that point, you're going to know if it's an alif or a ya, the letter that you should be writing. This is how we transcribe them, and those were the sounds that they produce. Let's now see how we actually write them. So as we saw in the previous video, Arabic is sort of a cursive script. This means that Arabic is written through the use of ligatures. Ligatures, as we saw, is basically when we write connecting one letter to another, allowing the letters to form a single shape. Now, Arabic is basically a cursive script. Most letters are going to join through the use of ligatures, but not necessarily all of them are going to join. Actually, in Arabic, we have two types of letters. We have letters that can join other letters from the right and the left side, and then we have letters that can only join other letters from the right side. So we have letters like the ya that can join from both sides, and then we have letters like the wow and the alif that can only join from this side. So you see what this means. Imagine that we wanted to join the wow and the alif together. Since the wow can only join from the right side and the alif can only join from the right side as well, are they going to join? Well, Arabic script is a consensual script. Since the alif is going to be allowing the waw to join, but the waw is not going to be allowing the alif to join to it, they are not going to join. So Arabic is a cursive script that uses ligatures, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all letters are going to be joining each other. Let's see these in writing, and let's see the case of the ya so that we understand these a little bit better. So while the a and the u, the alif and the waw, may be able to join letters from this side, they're not necessarily going to do so if they are at the beginning of the sentence, or if, for instance, they're next to a letter that is not allowing them to join. Therefore, they may be written into different shapes, either in the isolated form when they are not joining, in which case the alif would look like a stripe and the waw would look like this. Or in the case where they are joining a letter on the right, remember only on the right side, they can never join from this other side. then their shape is going to change a little bit, but not much. We're just going to add a little stripe, joining it to the letter in front, like this. We will see afterwards an example of them joining another letter, but let's see now the case of the letter Ya. The letter Ya that can be pronounced as an E or as an E depending on the region and the word belongs to the first type of letters, and therefore it can connect from both sides if the letters next to it allow it. This means that if, for instance, the letter Ya is at the end of a word and it's next to, for example, a wow that is not allowing it to connect, then we're also going to find it in the isolated version. So when it's standing alone, it's going to look like this. However, if it's, for example, at the beginning of the word, there is no other letter in front of it to the right, but there is a letter to its left, then it's going to change shapes and it's going to look like this. So when it's joining from the left side, it will look like this. We're only going to be identifying it because of the dots. If it's in the middle of the word and it's joining both sides, then it would look exactly the same but with a longer line joining it to the letters in front and behind it. And if it's, for example, at the end of the word and it's connecting to the letter in front, it would look exactly the same as in its isolated form, but with a longer line joining it to the letter in front. These are the different ways in which we can write the letter Ya. As you may see, it does definitely change shapes quite a lot. But what does this mean? How can I write them together? Let's see an exercise together. For imagine we wanted to write the word Iowa بالعربي. Iowa means yes, that's right. It could also be translated as a I see. So it's very useful for when you're first learning Arabic. It can get you out of many weird contexts in which you don't know what they're telling you, you don't know what to say. Just throw an Iowa. And in some accents, it could actually also mean yes. Iowa contains all of the vowels بالعربي. What should we do to write them all together? I'm going to show you a trick. Some students don't need this, but if you struggle a bit, you can use this trick. What we're going to do is a 4-step process. First step that we're going to do is write ticks and X's in the places where the letters could join. So for instance, the letter alif, we said that could join from this side, but it could not join from the left side. So we write a tick on the right and X on the left. The letter Ya, technically it could join from both sides, so we write ticks to its sides. The letter Wow could only join from the right side, so we write a tick. And it could not join from the left side, so we write an X. And we do the exact same thing for the Alif again. It can't join from the left side, it can only join from the right side, so we write a tick on the right. Once we have this first step, we go to our second step. The second step says only 2 ticks equal 1 tick. The rest, they're all X's. So we go for it and we see 1 tick, it's going to equal an X. Obviously, this letter is not going to be joining from this side because it's at the beginning of the word. A tick and an X equal an X. Remember, we are consensual. Consensuality is very important. They're not going to join, even if the letter Ya allows the Alif to join. Then we have finally 2 ticks together. 2 ticks equal a tick. This word is going to be joining from there. And then again, we have a tick and an X that equals an X and a final X, which equals as well an X. Now that we have this, we're going to do our third step, that is drawing triangles. This is just for us to visualize it better. Okay, we're going to draw these triangles so that we can see more clearly if they're joining or not. And once we have these triangles, we're going to do our fourth step. That is the easiest one. Now we just need to find an alif that has an X and an S. So an X to its right and an X to its left. And we go and we find it. It's this one. So we write it just as we see it there in the isolated shape. Then we need to find the ya with an X to its right and a tick to its left. So we go and try to find it, and we find it right there. And we write it as we see it there. Then we go for the wow with a tick on the right and an X on the left. So it's this letter here. And notice that it contains the line. Why? Because they are definitely joining here. So I join them, don't keep them separated. Okay, they will be joining from there. And then we have an A, an alif with two X's. So we find it again here and we write it just as we see it. Iowa. This is how we would write the word Iowa. طيب ماشي تمام okay. If it's not clear, don't worry about it. Let's do two more exercises where you can actually stop the video, try to do it yourself, and then see if you did it right. And if you're still struggling with it, I would like to remind you that you can go to our webpage and check our self-guided book that contains exercises where you can practice these letters. And the exercises, they also include their own corrections. So you can try to do a bit of writing and then check in the book if you did everything right. It also contains a lot of tricks, and it's a very useful guide just to have there home for whenever you completely forget how to write a letter or how it is pronounced. Ready to do a bit of more exercises with me anyhow? Yalla. Fa. Here you have two words that I want you to write. The first one is the word Ya. Ya Muhammad. Ya is the vocative in Arabic. Oh, Ya Muhammad. Oh, Muhammad. طيب. And I want you to write also the word أو or in Arabic. Pause the video, try to write it yourself using the tricks that I gave you, and then pause continue to see if you did it right. So let's see if you did it right. We have the yeah, we're gonna do the same exact steps as we did before. We have the letter ya, which can join from both sides, and then we have the letter alif that can only join from this side. So we write an X here. First step, done. بعدين afterwards we need to map whether they join or not with the trick of only two ticks equal one tick. So a tick equals an X equals an X, but two ticks equal a tick. Once we have this, we do our triangles just for visualization, and we try to find now our letters. We need to find the ya with an X and a tick right here, and we write it. And we need to find the alif with a tick and an X right here. And obviously we join them because they are joining. Ya Muhammad. This is how we would write Ya. Then we have Aw. Aw, we do exactly the same. The alif cannot join from this side and the wow cannot join from this side, but they can join from the right side. So we write a tick. Are these letters going to join? A tick equals an X. A tick and an X equal an X. And an X equals an X. They are not going to join. We can see it already, even if we draw. We don't need to draw our triangles. What we need to do is to write the alif with two X's, so as it's here, and the wow with two X's, as it's there. They are not going to join. أو or. تمام طيب مشي اوكي ان شاء الله حبيتوا الصف ان شاء الله تعلمتوا كتير معي وإن شاء الله I'll see you in the next class. Now try to relax, try to practice it a bit, and in the next class we will see a new set of letters سوا together. يلا شكرا كتير ومع السلامة.